Welcome, welcome. Dr. Stephen Hobbs here from the International Mentoring Community. I serve as Director of Certification. We are in module number 5, looking at the action outcome, discuss the impact of personal bias on the mentoring arrangement. So I'm going to unpack bias, the personal bias, and look at the impact of that for you as a mentor moving forward. A bias is a preconceived opinion. It's usually not based on reason or actual experience, and it's either in favor of or against a thing or person. So let me break that down. Let me just back this up a little bit. It's not usually based on reason or actual experience. I have a bias towards something, not based on reason, not based on actual experience. And it's usually for or against it. It's kind of an interesting thing to have in our lives. And if we sit back and think about it, and I challenge you, where might there be some personal bias in your life? Now, here's the other interesting aspect of the bias, is it's considered to be unfair. The bias that you have is to be considered unfair. And if you were to live according to your biases, to mentor according to your biases, then there would be feelings of unfairness being brought in, and you would pick it up as the mentor, but the mentee would certainly pick that up as well. So when you favor one variable more than another, it does affect someone or something. So let's look at one example. You have a bias for in-person meetings rather than using an online meeting tool. In other words, you prefer to sit across from the person and have a conversation that way than to do it through computers and an online meeting tool. That's a bias that you have. However, let's look at it from this perspective. Let's say the mentee has to travel a longer distance to meet you, all right, over the next 2 meetings, and is asked to use an online meeting tool, and you decline to do so. So in a sense, you've inconvenienced the mentee because of your personal bias to be meeting person to person. So you inconvenience the mentee because they've had to drive a longer distance, when you could have said, well, maybe for those 2 meetings, we can meet online, but then let's go back to meeting face-to-face, rather than saying, no, it always must be in a face-to-face capacity. Now, here's a challenge for you. Can you identify another personal bias that has an impact on the mentoring arrangement? I've given 2 here. One is the ethnic restaurant choice. Have you thought through, is there an impact on the mentee of the restaurant that you've chosen? Another one is, if you mentor using sports metaphors, they may not land for the person that you're interacting with. They may not understand the metaphoric elements of that sport to whatever it is that mentee is looking to gain from you. Therefore, be very aware of the metaphors that you're using. So those are just 2 examples. Again, I ask you to think through, where might a personal bias enter into your mentoring arrangement. So in closing for this one, I want to share this statement with you because it's an important one, that serving as a mentor is about your willingness to gift your lived experience so someone, in this case the mentee, can learn something from you. And if you allow bias into that sharing, there could be issues that come out over time, or maybe even immediately. Knowing that the mentee is there to gain insights from your lived experience, be careful in sharing a personal bias, or more than one, in sharing from your lived experience. So with that, take care and enjoy all of your mentoring arrangements.